Welcome to Hotline TV, everybody. I'm John Mercurio.
And I'm Amy Walter.
The spotlight is on the failing economy in the United States, and Sarah Palin's media buzz seems to be fading. Sarah Palin sat down with Sean Hannity last night, who asked her if she agreed with John McCain that the fundamentals of the economy are strong. Let's take a look.
It was an unfair attack on the verbiage that Senator McCain chose to use, because the fundamentals, as he was having to explain afterwards, he means our workforce. He means the ingenuity of the American people. And of course, that is strong, and that is the foundation of our economy. So that was an unfair attack there, again, based on verbiage that John McCain used. Certainly, it is a mess, though. The economy is a mess.
Okay, Amy Walter, now that the initial buzz, the post-St. Paul bump, if you will, for Sarah Palin seems to be over, do you think she's going to be a weak link for the McCain camp on the economy, on other issues? How did this Hannity interview go for you?
I mean, I thought it was fine, but it comes back to the fundamental thing, which is she can't really get off script lest she gets into danger, right? There's not a whole lot of depth for her to go into. So I don't think they want to put her in the situations where she's going to be asked these sorts of questions over and over and over again, or for very specific answers to questions. In my mind, where she does best is when she gets in front of a group of people that are her cohorts, or people who could be swayed by
fellow
by
governors,
her.
You mean?
Yes.
Yes.
You put her in front of the DGA, RGA, NGA, whatever they are, she's going to work it. Put her in front of women. Now, here's what I don't quite understand with the McCain campaign right now. I get, in some ways, keeping her away from the back and forth kind of media scrum.
Sure.
At the same time, they took a big risk putting her on the ticket. Put her out there more and put her in places where she can connect with the kinds of voters that they want her to connect with.
Right.
Why not put her on Tyra Banks or Ellen?
I think
I know Oprah won't take anybody, but
right.
Why not?
I think we are, though. Why not? It's a good question as to why they haven't done it so far, but I think that's clearly what's next, because what we're seeing this week is that the bounce that they got coming out of St. Paul was temporary. You know, her unfavorables are going up, especially among independents, especially among men, and obviously among Democrats as well. And so I think as that starts to happen, as she comes crashing down back to earth, what they're going to need to do is sort of mobilize and stabilize that base that she's supposed to, that she was brought onto this ticket to do, which is women. So I think I would be very surprised, knowing how, you know, calculating and crafty the McCain campaign can be, that they don't then take that and do that in the next couple of weeks.
Right, because they needed to give her the credibility piece to go with the big anchors, and now you go to the Tyra. Okay, well, that makes sense. All right, she also had her first town hall appearance last night in Michigan with John McCain. She got some questions from what was undoubtedly a friendly audience, but let's take a look how she answered those.
I haven't really heard where we're talking about finding this oil.
Offshore is where it's at, and John McCain being a supporter of that offshore drilling, that's going to help get us there also.
Have you been able to convince the senator on drilling in Anwar?
I'm still working on it.
And the next question is,
this town hall meeting is adjourned.
All right, so Joan, should she be doing some more of these? Is this what she should?
You know, she answered a lot of other questions. Some she answered well, some she didn't answer so well. This one, obviously, not a really strong answer. You know, it's in a way it's very sympathetic, though, because it's like she gets the game that she's playing, the whole stump the candidate thing. She knows she's not the most overwhelming. She can be in some ways very underwhelming on that stage. There were some questions that the chemistry between McCain and she seemed to be very collaborative. There did seem to be a lot more of the sort of working relationship that I think a lot of people are looking for in how they would work together. But she had very sort of, again, very, very scripted answers. Even in a town hall, which everybody knows is scripted but isn't supposed to be, it came across, I think, as very, very orchestrated.
Well, especially for somebody that is supposed to be real, right? That's supposed to be the connection that she has to everybody, which is, I'm real, I'm going to tell you how it is, and it always comes sort of back to the same 5 or 6 lines that she has done a very good job sort of incorporating. You know, but the other problem is every time she comes on stage and every time we make Sarah Palin the focus, we get off of John McCain, right? And the problem, again, comes down to this, which is the more that he campaigns with her, where she's the focus, and if she falls, and if she falls badly, I think he goes down with her, and that's a big...
You know, I'm certainly not the first person to say this. The vice presidential debates are going to be fascinating. It was the conventional wisdom coming out of St. Paul that this all of a sudden became a huge high-stakes gamble for Joe Biden. He really had to perform well. It was a high wire rope that he was walking. He couldn't offend her, but he had to sort of fight back and he had to attack. The real challenge, I think, is up to Palin at this point. She needs to prove herself, not just in these media debates, but standing up to somebody like Joe Biden. And so I think ultimately it'll be for her a very defining moment.
Interesting. Well, that is all the time we have for you today. I'm apparently John Mercurio.
Yes, you are.
Yeah,
and
I read the wrong
look
script.
Marvelous.
Thank you.
And I am happy to announce that I'm Amy Walter. We'll see you next time on Hotline TV.